Okay. I know I'm getting older now because I've realized that a lot of people that I knew when I was young have passed away because of basic math. Do you know what I mean? Like, there'll just be someone that you're thinking about where you're like, oh man, they were old when I was a kid and I pay bills now, so. Oh yeah, oof. I went to a Catholic school in high school, and there was a priest there that I thought was hilarious. I don't even remember his name. I feel bad about it, but you know, he was dope, and he would do mass because we would have mass before classes and stuff, and he would always forget to turn his mic off. Consistently. I don't even think he knew it had an off button. He would always forget to turn his mic off, and then he would take the sacrament, right, which is a cracker, and then every time he did it with next to his mic, it sounded like he was losing a tooth every week. It was never not hilarious. I remember the first time it happened, I was like, did he crack his soul? Like, what? And you know, I'm not Catholic, but I would sometimes, when we would have a retreat or something, I would go to the confession just to like do it. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a certain power in going to confession when you're not Catholic, because you're gonna tell someone a bunch of stuff they can't tell anybody else. And then they're gonna tell you what to do about it, and you're just gonna nod like this. So I went to confession, and it wasn't as much of a confession because I think he knew I wasn't Catholic, so it was more of a conversation, right? And in the conversation, he said something that stuck with me ever since, where he was like, I don't know. This is him. I don't know if there's a God. But I've read the Bible, and I feel like, God or not, that this is the best way to live my life. I feel like I'm happier, I'm kinder to people. I feel better with this thing than without it. So that's just me, right? And I never heard someone, especially someone like in a church, like of the church, speak so candidly about their beliefs, right? I'd ask people my entire life straight up, hard questions, and sometimes they'd be like, well, you know, God has a plan. But when somebody hits you with, I don't know either, it really stops both of you. I remember the moment he said it, I was like, oh, I hope I didn't break. I hope I didn't break a priest. You gotta go to hell if you break a priest. But he was like, no, I don't know. But I think that even if nothing happens when you die, even if there's no God, by the time I'm gone, I'll be pretty happy about the way that I lived my life. And I thought about that the other day. And I was like, ooh, I was 14. And he was like 84, so. I definitely missed a funeral. Okay, I don't drive because I'm a terrible driver. Like, I failed my driving test, and I'm out of practice since then. And so I don't drive, but I get driven. I take Ubers and stuff like that. Friends have given me rides and stuff. So I understand the value of gas money. And, you know, it always felt like some classic 90s late night joke to talk about gas prices and if they were high or they're getting so high or whatever. And at least right now, gas, at least in most states, is on the lower side. It's cheaper. It's trending down, actually. It's cheaper than it was last week at the time that I'm saying this, right? Don't quote me years from now. Mr. Moneybags thinks that gas is cheap. It's like, nah. I'm saying that as of September 4th, 2024, gas is trending down. It's cheaper than it was last week. It's cheaper than it was a month ago. And it's down from a year ago, right? And I think that because of that, gas stations are maybe hurting a little bit, and they're starting to sell extra stuff that is a bad business model, right? Like extra stuff that shouldn't even be at the gas station. Like I saw gas station flowers. Fellas, if you ever mess up and you're thinking about what you did and you're on your way home and you're feeling apologetic, but you don't want, you messed up too bad to just text. You can't just be like, I'm sorry, LOL. It's not gonna work. You're like, I gotta make this right? And so you're getting your apology ready in your head, and then, you know, you see that the tank's pretty close to E. You're like, let me be responsible, fill up the family car, right? And then you get to the gas station, you fill up the car, and then you see inside that there are flowers, real flowers, at the gas station. If you walk in and you buy those flowers and you bring them home, she will leave you, all right? Gas station flowers look like an omen. Like, they're just dead enough to be alive. I've never seen anything like it. Like, and for sale of regular price flowers too. There was a bouquet that was in a bucket with a bunch of other bouquets, and I looked and the sign said $9.99 for these very dead. There's no vegetation around. These flowers were clearly shipped in like the back of a fridge or something. Flowers are big. Salads. I'm all for people eating their greens. And I think we should be healthier as a country. But if you buy a gas station salad, you have just used your credit or debit card to pay for E. coli, right? E. coli is supposed to be microscopic, but you can see it on a gas station salad. You can see it tap dancing in there. You can see it waiting to get inside you, excited, eat me, please. I was at a gas station in Kentucky and saw, for sale apparently, a loose pickle. When I say a loose pickle, I want you to understand I said it right. I was at the gas station. My friend was getting gas. I was going to buy a bottle of water. And as I'm walking towards the fridge with the waters in it, I pass a shelf. The shelf has pickles laid out on the shelf and a price tag right under it. $1.99 for these loose pickles. $1.99 for these loose pickles that are just on a very dusty shelf. And they were wet, like they had pickle juice on them. And it was a mystery I needed to solve because in my head, I was like, what could have happened here? Because this was like a mom and pop gas station. It wasn't like a Circle K or, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like anything like that. It wasn't a Shell or anything. It was just like a regular independent gas station. There's very few now, and I guess I can see why. But this loose pickle is just on the shelf with some other loose pickles, like, but it's wet. And in my head, I was like, this is like either a miracle or the worst business idea I've ever seen in my entire life. Can you imagine someone pitching, look, pickles taste like pickle, all right? Just throw them out there. Don't put them in a jar. Don't let them soak in pickle juice. They're gonna taste like pickle no matter what you do, all right? Sure, there's a little dust. That dust is character, okay? But truly what I think happened, because this is like an indie, you know, mom and pop gas station, I think somebody went in there, and don't get me wrong, a person who's out of their mind, they went in there and they were like, hey, let me get the whole jar of pickles, but no pickles. I just want the juice and the jar. And then this mom and pop gas station owner said, rightfully so, excuse me? Sir, I want the jar and the juice, hold the pickles, and I'll pay whatever price you want. And so then this very old man was like, okay. Because what do you charge for that? If somebody says, name your price, I would charge like $300. $300 would make me feel comfortable about making a sale to a serial killer, right? I wouldn't even say three, maybe 500. I think 500 would make me more comfortable about what I had to do while somebody watched. You know what I mean? No, 5,000. $5,000 would be my price, because I would want them to have to pay so much that they couldn't get far, and when I called the police, they wouldn't be. They'd just be one tank of gas away. Loose pickles. And I asked them, I was like, so your pickles over there, what's the deal with that? Because they're just loose on the shelf. And the guy, dude, I'm not even getting, the guy goes, what? I was like, your pickles are loose on the shelf. Because now I'm getting nervous. So your pickles are loose on the shelf. And he's like, what? And he's like cursing under his breath. And then he goes over there to the aisle where I pointed, and he's like, not again! Again. And he's like, not again. I was like, wait, so this happened before? Like, you didn't want this to happen? Like, a weird stranger didn't come in here and pay you $5,000 for just the jar and the juice? And this dude explained to me while I bought my bottle of water that a resident weirdo comes in every couple of months and slyly takes all the pickles out of the jar and runs out with the jar and the juice. And he said, this dude said, I have alerted the authorities multiple times. But they say there's nothing that they can do because he's stealing, but it's not like a priced amount. And I was like, may I offer a suggestion? Pickles, $1.99 each. Jar, $5,000.
I've been traveling a bunch. I remember this is like maybe 2 trips ago to North Carolina. I stayed in this old house. It was incredibly old. It was one of those like Airbnb type things, but it wasn't through Airbnb. I was staying at someone's house and they were there. I was in their spare room and everything. And man, this house was old. It was old to the point where you were like, this place has a history. Do you know what I mean? Anytime I don't see door knobs, anytime I see like wooden pegs and stuff, I'm like, yeah, something bad happened here. I might be the first person to sleep upstairs. This is terrible. But still, it was a place to stay, and and so I'm staying there and everything, and they gave me a little tour, told me a little bit of the history, and I was like, I'm sure you left a little out. And whenever I'm in a place like that, people talking about like ghosts and stuff, and here's the thing. I believe in ghosts as much as the average black person. Do you know what I mean? What I mean by that is that sometimes you're watching a show. You're watching a show, and then somebody's going on about ghosts, and I'm like, they didn't see a ghost. You know what I mean? Like, you could just tell from their attitude on the show. I'm like, no, they didn't see a ghost. But if you tell me there's a ghost in here, you're not gonna leave me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't believe everything everybody says, but I'm also not gonna play with it. Do you know what I mean? It's like I am a reasonable amount of superstitious. I am just superstitious enough to keep myself safe, Like I don't believe in everything, but like also I'm not gonna play with it. Like this is my thing. I got plenty of white friends, and white friends love to tell you about a ghost like they're telling you about a puppy. I'm like, well, 200 years ago. I mean. And so then I'm over here later taking a shower, right? And I do the thing sometimes, I think a lot of people do this, where if you're in a horror movie scenario, there is a part of you internally reacting to the horror movie you're in. It's almost like that little voice that you have in the back of your head that is watching the horror movie that you're in that has a little bit more sense than you're expressing in the moment. So even as I'm in this house, and against my wishes, my hosts had to run errands, so they've left me in the house. I'm in the house alone, and I gotta take a shower, right? In my head, I'm like, look, I'm gonna be fine. I'm just taking a shower in the place. I've already stayed here for, most of the day. Nothing weird has happened. I'm gonna take a shower, right? Now in the back of my head, the version of myself watching the movie is like, don't get in the shower. Get out of the shower, girl. What you doing? I get in the shower. Got those old pipes. There's everything groaning. You turn on the pipe. I don't trust. I had to take a shower, but I don't trust any water that doesn't show up immediately. No, I turned the knob. I turned it. It's been turned. And now I hear, As pipes, you don't get to complain. As a fact, I turned the, and then the water comes out. That doesn't feel clean. To me, maybe I'm wrong, I'm not a plumber, but to me, water on delay always seems dirty. I'm like, where were you that you couldn't show up immediately? That is so nasty to turn a knob, and I gave it revolutions. I didn't twist it like a quarter just to, test the water pressure or get the temp or anything. I turned it fully on, and nothing was happening. And the water finally comes out. I'm like, why are you late? It's very distressing. And so, turn the water on for the tub, and then I pull it so it'll come out of the shower. And that took much longer, which is crazy. Is the water already up here? Did you get lost? Why? The water's already coming out of the faucet. I pull the thing up so as we come out of the shower. And then I hear, brrr, 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 brrr. And then the water starts coming out. I didn't like the sound it made when it came over here. What you choking on in there? You know what I mean? Look, maybe I'm wrong, but water's supposed to listen to me. And so then I get in the shower, and it was one of those things where there's a hot and a cold, right? But there's no order. You know what I mean? There's no organization. This is chaos. This is chaos we're living in, because this thing, you turn it an eighth of an inch. You turn an eighth of an inch towards the H. It looked like an H. It was faded. You turn an eighth of an inch towards the H, and you will receive. You will receive some of the hottest. In the Bible, they talk about fire and brimstone. And far be it from me to give any edits, but I feel like a more accurate description would be fire, brimstone, and whatever is coming out of this shower right now. I felt it for half a second. And I didn't even have time to react to how hot it was. I just knew that I was burning. And so then I turned it, because once again, I'm used to showers. Been showering my whole life. All right? You're not gonna get me, okay? Because that's what these showers do. You turn it an eighth of an inch, and then out of a reaction, you turn it the whole way, and then you freeze, right? I was like, all right, this is clearly too hot. I have very little time. And this is also what happened, because the response time, I don't know if this is such an old house that they just have somebody choosing the water temperature. Because I had turned it the eighth of an inch, right? And it didn't get hot right away, so I took a step back. So I'm over here just letting it hit my feet. And then I feel my feet catch on fire. And so now I'm dancing in the tub. Ooh, it's a hot recipe to kill yourself. I am over here trying not to get hit by the water in the tub, and I know I only have a split second. Try to shoot my hand in. I know you're probably wondering, why didn't you just get out of the shower, come around underneath the water? You don't think like that in moments like this. Good for you. You've been through a lot more than I have, and so you come to these situations prepared, but I'm not expecting to be attacked in the shower. And so then I shoot my arm through and just turn it that little bit, turned it 1/4 of an inch cold. 1/4 of an inch cancels out that 1/8 of an inch of the hot, takes me back to where I was, which is like warm but not warm enough. And then I can maybe assess, maybe it's 1/4 inch this way, and then maybe 1/4 of an inch the other way. Maybe that'll get me back where I was, and I can do even like 1/16 maybe. Turn 1/4 of an inch, and the way the icicles that shot against my body. I had already sacrificed my right arm in the hot water. So now I'm freezing, and at this point I did just get out and then try to adjust underneath the water. Throw the hand up. Finally get it perfect, right? I hop in, showering up and everything, and look, I appreciate them hosting me, but they had weird soap. Yeah, I mean, because they're those friends that make everything. So they made their own soap, and I was like, all right, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, it's sudsing up, but it's also like, I don't know, why is it shaped like this? Yeah, like, carve it into a rectangle or something. Just look like a collection of rocks all glued together or something. So then it's not even like, I don't know, even as you're rubbing against your hands, you're like, this soap a little sharp. And so then suds up, I'm washing up and everything, and then I start to hear these noises, right? And this is too creaky of a house. Genuinely, I hated this house, because not only should I probably hate this house, but every step creaky. The floorboards need replacing. You open or close the door. At a certain point, I'm like, I get history and everything, but y'all, WD-40 has been invented. Y'all don't have to live like this. I don't see how y'all sleep. And so then I'm in the shower, start hearing all these noises, and it genuinely starts freaking me out. Because then I'm like, could it be, if there was ever going to be a ghost, is here. Like, it is in this place. And so even as I'm showering, I'm like, there's probably not a ghost. But in the back of my head, like, there's a ghost! Get out the shower, there's a ghost! He on the other side of the curtain! I'd be lying if I didn't say it. This is so dumb, but I would open the curtain real quick. There are a couple times I've just opened the curtain real quick. Sudsing up and everything. And then I finally hear something from the room I'm staying in that sounds like falling. It sounds like books falling or something like that. It's too loud and unorganized of a noise for it to not be something in there. And this is bad. This is the part of the horror movie where normally someone. And so now in the back of my head, myself that's watching me is like, did not tell you not to get in the shower. Because this is a precarious position to be in, especially as a man. as a man, you never want to be scared and wet. What do I look like? Scared and wet at the same time. The only people allowed to be scared and wet are firefighters. I'm over here in the shower, still suds and everything I hear, huh? Can't be scared and wet. And so I decided, all right, look, I'm gonna go ahead, shut the shower off, I'm gonna dry up, and whatever it is, whatever is in that room, I'm gonna face it head on like a man, right? I'm gonna face it head on, because also there's no other room for me to go to. I literally have to, I actually have to exit the bathroom from the room that I came in. And so then I dry off a little bit. Whole time I'm still hearing like clunky sounds in there, just stuff moving, like stuff, just the sound of stuff like dragging. And so even as I'm drying off, I'm getting myself ready. You can only prepare yourself so much. I forgot to bring my clothes in the bathroom with me. And so I'm thinking in my head, look, if it's a person, I have a chance, because a naked man is also a threat. I don't care where you are. You run in naked, you own that room. It could be the Oval Office. You run in the Oval Office naked, everybody, even Secret Service, like, oh! And so, go ahead and dry myself off. I wrap a towel around my waist and everything. I grab the metal. They didn't have a doorknob. I grab the metal little latch and take a deep breath. I unlatch it, I run it. Nothing. There's nothing in there except a very fat cat. This is one of the bigger cats I've seen. This cat was thick. This cat been living good. This is a very big cat. This is one of those cats that didn't even look like he wanted to be big. You know, like, cat just look exhausted. Looked like he'd been eating all day. Eating ghosts. This cat was truly one of the biggest cats I've ever seen. Cat looking at me. Then I'm like, all right, get out of here. You gotta go. You didn't scare me and everything. They didn't even tell me they had a cat. And honestly, when you expect to see nothing and you see a huge cat, you aren't sure what it is right away. No. What I got was a cat. When I opened that door and saw that cat was so rude. That cat was on his back, perched up against the dresser by the head and the top of the back. Legs open. The cat laying there like a drunk. You know, cat leaves the room. I get dressed and everything. Later on, we're having dinner. And I just told them, I was like, hey, y'all gotta chill with the ghost stories and stuff, because they were about to tell another one. I was like, y'all stop, come on. And then I told them about what happened. I was like, I'm over here paranoid. That stuff, like, it stresses me out. I don't end up having good sleep and everything. Like, don't tell me about stuff like that. I was trying to take a shower, and then your cat scared me half to death. And they were like, cat? And I was like, stop playing, 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 stop playing. I can't stay here. I can't stay here. If you don't have an obese cat, I cannot stay here right now. I can't be here. Oh. Got Easter coming up. And Easter's always a fun time because I have so many memories from when I was little and Easter would come around. Like, okay, when I was a kid, all of my friends, went to different churches and stuff, but like Easter Sunday's like one of the big ones. That's like when you go if you don't go. Yeah, I mean, it's like Christmas, Easter, that's when you show up to be like, oh, it's good to see you again, Pastor. Oh, yeah, been busy. But it was a kid, okay. It was a kid, Sean, that was a bully at church. It's hard to have a church bully. Yeah, but it's hard to be going to Sunday school, and then there's this kid that's over here bullying everybody, and then you hear it about how the Lord sees everything. And you're like, he can't catch Sean? Like, every week I'm over here. And Sean was like, he was a little bit bigger than everybody, but he wasn't like a big, strong bully. He was just like, he had the bully attitude. Like he would just walk up and try to take something from you, like you owed it to him, And there was this one Easter Sunday, he was walking up to everybody because everybody got like little chocolate bunnies, little chocolate treats and everything. And he didn't do anything when it was being passed out, but later, throughout the rest of church, whether he was in the bathroom or he was walking by you, he'd just walk up to you and he'd be like, give me your chocolate. And I imagine you would give him the chocolate, not just because you were scared of him, but you'd be like, what was that just now? Like that wasn't, yeah, because it was intimidating because it was weird. It wasn't like a straw. Like he didn't say it with a deep voice, give me your chocolate. He was like, give me your chocolate. I'll give it to you just to stop you from doing that again. And he did it to everybody. Like, it didn't matter who you were. Like, boys, girls, walk up, give me your chocolate. Just taking everybody's chocolate and just eating it right away. Eating it in front of them, too, because that's the type of bully he was. He would take your chocolate, eat it in front of you, and then when he got done, be like, chocolate. Like it was hard to accept his bully because it was just so, it would leave you asking questions. Do you not know you just had the chocolate? You said, give me the chocolate, you ate the chocolate, and then you said, chocolate. Do you narrate every part of your life? Sean likes chocolates. And so he did this I don't know how he got to everybody, but he took near everybody's chocolate, right? Almost everybody. To the point where this one boy had eaten like 54 pieces of chocolate. And so then it was time for communion. And everybody's lined up, take the body, take the blood and everything. And you could tell something was wrong with Sean from afar. He was bubbling, He's over here, chocolate. And then he got up there and took a little piece of the bread. Took part of the blood. And immediately, and not just a little bit either. Not like 54 pieces. He seemed to throw up for 12 days. This child. Here's the thing. When you're little and something like that happens, the panic sets in, and then the thing happens, and the thing is over before you know it. This wasn't. His mom had time to pick him up and run him down the aisle. with him. Whole time trying to talk to. And then after that, a rumor spread. A rumor spread about Sean that he was a demon. What do you expect us to think? As soon as he took the blood, the blood of Christ couldn't last 2 seconds inside him. And he threw up way more than he ate chocolate. That's some exorcism right there. Who knows? Maybe he was a demon and now it's out, but just... No, that's crazy. He wasn't even, he was a child. Threw up like a drunk man. Oh, a ton of memories around Easter, like, I have a friend, his mom was trying to be more handy around the house, right? So she's over here trying to do some of the stuff that his dad would normally do, because his dad would travel sometimes. And she's like, I'm sick of waiting for you to get back to fix stuff. I'm going to learn to fix some of this stuff myself, because then you never want me to call anybody and have them come do it. You want to do it yourself, but then you out of town for like 2-3 days. I want to learn how to fix stuff up, be handy around the house. And so one of the things that she wanted to do was install AC window unit. Right? And the problem with how she installed it is it's how I would have installed it. Like, basically, she had it in the window, right? It's already heavy. And you got to close the window, and then it has those edges where you're supposed to screw into the windowsill, right? Now, some windowsills, especially if they have that like curved molding to them, they don't screw in as well. So then you have to come up with something else. You have to either screw in down to the top of the window that you push down, or right into the bottom of the window. And she didn't do any of that. So she didn't do any of those things at all. Basically, she closed the window extra hard and wedged a brick right under. She wedged the brick right here. Yeah, plugged it in, nice and cool. Nice and cool in the house. And because she had done it herself and she was all proud of it, you know, his dad came home and he didn't even really want to say anything. He's like, it's in there, you know. And there really is no place to screw in. These are short screws, and there's like a certain molding to the windowsill. So I guess that's that. And it lasted like that for a very long time, like through the seasons as well. Like it stayed in there for like a year, just like that, no problem, right? And then there was one Easter where the Easter Bunny was coming. Easter Bunny was coming. This is a big deal. This is crazy. Who knew? As a child, who knew you could see the Easter Bunny? Because you don't really know the breakdown of who you're allowed to see versus not see. Like, you're never supposed to see the Tooth Fairy. You never see the Tooth Fairy at all. You're allowed to see Santa, but only at the mall, not in your house. If you see Santa at your house where he's supposed to come, things have gone terribly awry. If you see Santa at your home, he might not even give you your presents for some reason. You're supposed to stay asleep in bed. But if you see Santa, he'll be like, oh, you remember me from the mall. I can't give you your presents now. Those are the rules. I don't know why. But the Easter Bunny was coming. All the kids are so excited, like, yeah, hooray, gonna meet the Easter Bunny. This is gonna be great. I wonder what he's like. Easter Bunny comes. Easter Bunny rings the doorbell. All the kids are excited because they told all the children, hey, you're meeting the Easter Bunny today. And especially, it makes sense. Easter Bunny, bright, nice colors, everything. You do the Easter egg hunt and everything. It makes sense it'd be daytime. I feel like if you run into the Easter Bunny at night, you have problems. This is It's a very different bunny. It's a very different season. Easter bunny comes. Easter bunny at the door rings the bell. His dad opens the door, and the Easter bunny is bent over, holding his like bunny head with like red stuff all down his shoulder. Because the AC unit had fallen on the Easter bunny. That window unit almost took the Easter bunny out. Managed to make it to the front door at the... Basically what saved him is the top of his head was such a strong shell that it sort of broke most of the fall. And what actually happened was that in like that shell providing that cushion, he'd still got a little bit of a cut on his head, had to get stitched up. So immediately they opened the door, Easter bunny over here bleeding. The children are screaming. You never want to see one of your childhood heroes covered in blood. And you don't even really understand the blood. You just know that like one eye looking this way and the other eye looking over here, and the head's a little caved in, and there's blood on the shoulder. And you never heard the Easter bunny speak, but you hear, oh no! And so, of course, you're terrified, and you're just crying and everything. All the kids got herded to another room. They ran him in, stitched him up. Turns out it wasn't that serious, just like literally like cut right there. Stitched him on up. And parents being parents, you know, you want to give your kids the best. You want to, especially, you have a plan for how life is going to go. So then when it goes wrong, you want to make up for it even more. And people bend over backwards for their kids in ways that don't even sometimes make sense. You know? And that's why after stitching them up, they brought them back out to the kids to show that the Easter bunny was all good. And the Easter bunny himself is over here trying to like still put on a performance. This is the problem with the Easter bunny. Nobody really knows what he's supposed to do. So Easter bunny come out, same costume, same busted head, same blood on his shoulder, but now he over here. It's Easter, y'all. Like, how is the Easter bunny supposed to dance? Like, at least when somebody dresses up as Spider-Man, you know Spider-Man moves. Like, if somebody's in Spider-Man for somebody's birthday, they can be like, here, right? Easter bunny's just over here like, probably a little concussed, just a touch concussed. So some of these dance moves are a little involuntary. It's over here getting low for no reason. Easter bunny tried his best, trying to calm these children down. Still see blood on the shoulder. Trying to dance and be jolly, but you hot in there. That you might be concussed, who knows? It's hard to have fun with a concussed Easter bunny because he over here leaning on everybody. You go to hug the Easter bunny and he hugging you, but he like really giving you his weight a little bit. Like, now you 8 years old holding up the Easter bunny like, hey, my back. We do our best though. We do, because we thought, we were positive that the Easter Bunny was dead. Like, we were sure. So when we saw him again, we were like, oh, it's like, wow, that's real Easter right there. No, it's bad. Crime is out of control. I don't know if you saw what's been going on in Europe, but 400,000 Kit Kat bars were stolen. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's gotta be a joke. And then after the third news station covered it, I was like, I think this is real. This is a crazy heist. Because, okay, basically, there was a truckload of these new special edition Kit Kats. These were Kit Kats specifically for right now, because apparently, this is, I don't even know if this is true, but I've heard enough times I feel like it's safe to repeat. Apparently, more chocolate gets sold during like the Easter season than even Halloween. Yeah, because Halloween's all the candy. So you might think of like Hershey's Kisses, stuff like that, but Easter is when the chocolate really comes out. And Kit Kat had made these special edition chocolate bars be sold everywhere throughout Europe. And somebody sat down, came up with a plan. They heard about this delicious endeavor, and they were like, you know what? I gotta get in on this. It's all gonna be on one truck. This is one of the wildest Ocean's 14 plots. Because you would think, when you talk about robbing a truck, especially like a semi-truck or something, when you think about robbing a truck, you think about it in like a Sons of Anarchy, you know, those that like Breaking Bad era of A&E shows. Where there's somebody who's like in the truck the whole time, buried under a bunch of Kit Kats, and then they climb out and they got their Glock with them, and then the other guys pull up Fast and Furious style on either side of the semi-truck, and they have shotguns, and then they get on top of the car. You know, there's always that scene where somebody needs to get on top of the car, moving for some reason. Like you can shoot better when you're standing on top of a moving car. They climb out of the window, and then you see them. And they shoot at the driver, but then the driver's got his own shotgun because it's not his first rodeo. He's over here, wow. Another person has to climb under the semi. You know, they have to do that thing where they get close. It's a sports car, so it's lower. They can get under, hop out, climb under. Climb open the back, Kit Kats start flying all over. They're like, no! Trying to catch Kit Kats is just slipping through their fingers, but also hold on to the door. Somebody finally gets to the driver, puts the gun right in their face, pull over. Pulls over. They knock him over the head, tie him up, leave him on the side of the road, drive off. With the Kit Kats. That didn't happen this time. No, none of that happened. They didn't even have guns. This was Europe. No, this was Europe, so they came up with a real plan. The heist was crazy because basically it was a dude driving the truck, and apparently there's like a real problem. I'm trying to remember what the name of the term is. It's like shadow shipping or something like that. And basically what they do is they follow the logistics of all of these all these products moving, right? And they come up with where they should intercept it, where it's the most believable. And then they show up with fake paperwork, fake phone numbers for people to call to check out said fake paperwork. paperwork, and then they take control of the truck, because in these businesses, these people are taught to like hand over the keys to the next person who's at the next stop and everything. And so they basically intercepted it, drove off with the Kit Kat truck. And then the guy who had the Kit Kat truck has to go back and be like, look, listen to me, all right? He had a clipboard and everything. How was I supposed to know? He had a clipboard, he had on the right vest. You know, the reflective vest? He had on one of those even though it was daytime. But no, he took off, and now nobody knows where those bars are. And then Kit Kat comes out and makes a statement about the whole thing. And the statement was a bit lackluster. It was like, well, at least the thieves have good taste. What are you talking about? What are you doing right now? This is what happens when you let weed be legal all across the continent. What? At least the thieves have good taste. Oh. And then they did something that most companies don't do. Usually when this sort of thing happens, they take it on the chin and then they just try to make up the shipment and everything, and they keep it to themselves because they're worried that the publicity from it happening might lead to it happening more. You know that this company is vulnerable because not only did Kit Kat come out and say, look, a lot of people would keep this to themselves, but we're Kit Kat. All right, we don't play by the same rules as these other bars, okay? All right, you're not talking to a Hershey milk chocolate bar right now. You're not talking to 100 grand. You're not talking to a zero bar. You're definitely not talking to a payday. All right, we're Kit Kat. All right, not Twix. And we're willing to say it, willing to come out and say it right now. As Kit Kat, we got robbed. We stole a whole truck. And so we will be not only making an announcement that we got robbed, we'll be flagging the batch numbers on the back of these boxes, because there are numbers on the backs of the boxes for the batch that they're in. And if they get flagged as sold, they'll see where these boxes ended up. They'll be able to trace it back maybe to the robbers. But if the robbers are smart and they sell a few boxes to convenience stores here and there all over Europe during this Easter season, they'll never be caught because those stores don't, really go by the batch numbers. And so they were like, we're going to be looking out for the batch numbers in case it comes up, which honestly only helps them sell more Kit Kats, because now people are like, I wonder if I got a stolen Kit Kat. I don't know, this was extra delicious. It seems naughty. Like I'm not supposed to have it or something. Check the batch number, check it. It was kind of like the opposite of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, yeah. When I saw this, when I saw the story, I was like, oh, Sean? No, I can see him messing up the whole plan, like just walking up with the clipboard and everything, like we're ready to take over the shipment for you and everything, but instead of just sounding professional, it's like, give me your chocolate.
I'm just not as strong as I'd like to be. You know what I mean? Like, there have definitely been things that needed to be picked up. But how about this? Very few people in my life have ever asked me to help them move. That's how you know you come off a little anemic to your friends. You know what I mean? Because I actually have anemia. But like, my thing is, if you're in the throes of like being your absolute strong, maybe I've watched too many movies, but I've just want to have like one period in my life where like I walk past stuff and I think about picking it up without the injury that might occur. You know what I mean? There have been people, okay, as an example, I try to be helpful, right? And I was in New York and I was I was on a subway and I was getting up the stairs. I had already got off the train, right? And on the second, there were 3 rows of stairs, right? And on the second row of stairs was a young mom who had a stroller with a baby in it, right? So then I'm like, okay, she already got up the first one. I'm not just gonna assume that she needs help, but the fact that she's doing it by herself and the stroller is hitting every step, she's shaking the baby. Like that's undeniable, just bow, 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 right? And so then I'm walking up and she looks like she's really contemplating how to do the second and third set of stairs because I think she must also felt like that was a lot of shaking, right? And so then I walk up and I'm like, hey, would you like a little help up? And then she was like, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And then I actually go down a couple stairs, you know, so I can like protect my back, lift with my legs and everything, and keep the baby at the right trajectory because now the baby's still going to be at an angle. He's not going to be like this and then. So then I grab the bottom of the stroller and I go to pick it up and I put in the effort, but the baby doesn't move. And I cannot tell if the stroller is made of titanium or if this baby is secretly 12. Like, because this is what's so embarrassing about what's happening right now, is that I have 2 people, one of which doesn't have object permanence yet, but 2 people who know exactly what's going on. They know that I've now offered to help and I cannot help. Because as I'm really, like, did you ever see The Sword and the Stone? It was... Because my hams and my quads are wiggling. And so I've got the wiggle going. So I know I'm putting in the effort, right? And I even readjusted and put my foot on a different step. Because I was like, that's a bad step. I don't like that step. That's what it is. That step was too low. It wasn't doing my legs any justice. Let me get up another step. So then I put, but this is a worse position to be in, right? So now I'm lower and now I'm wiggling. But the thing, okay, so I'm wiggling so hard, and then I look up a little bit, and the baby is like, and I never thought that being judged by a baby would help me access more glute use than I ever thought possible, because then I look up and the mom is also like, and so then I look past them because they are not helping me right now, and I finally lift it up a little bit, and I get maybe knee height, right? Which this is not comfortable to go upstairs with weight, okay? But I start pushing and I get up one step and get up another step. And I cannot believe that this mom did this by herself, because I'm like, this is with help. And so sure enough, you know, climbing up, and maybe a quarter of the way on the second set of steps, I start to feel a pain. I shouldn't say a pain. I start to feel 3 pains. One was in my back, one was in my quad, and one was in my hamstring. And other people are passing us, because I wasn't the only one that got off the subway. And as we're passing by, this other guy was passing by, much bigger dude, but he was like, "Do y'all need help?" which is devastating. You ever been a good Samaritan and needed a good Samaritan? It was terrible. So then I'm turning to him to be like, I'm about to answer, and the mom is like, yes. And so then this dude with one hand moves my hand and starts to take up some of the slack, right? And in my head, I'm like, all right, it's gonna be the three of us together. And okay, all right. So this dude moves this hand with this hand, moves it out of the way, and so now I'm just pinching both my hands on this other part, but he really is keeping it level in a way that's devastating. And then he was like, you know, it brightens my day to help out a young, beautiful couple like y'all. Which means that as he was walking up the steps and got level with me, he was sure I couldn't carry my own son. And so I'm holding this one, and he's holding this one with one hand, right? Other hand in his pocket. He chilling. And then almost immediately, this young mom says, oh, we're not together. And in my head, I'm like, you couldn't fake. You couldn't save me the embarrassment for 17 more steps. We don't know this man. I don't know you. We're not together. And so then he goes, ooh, oh, okay. You know, well, we all try to make things work the best way possible. Now he thinks I am an absent father that isn't able to carry my own son. And so then she's like, no, I don't know him. I was like, you really had to throw me under the bus right now. You couldn't just pretend to know me for 15 more steps. And then he goes, oh. And now he knows that I'm a stranger that can't pick up his not son. And I try to help people and everything, but this is too embarrassing. So after about the fourth step, I was like, hey, I'm late. Do you think you could? And then he was like, oh yeah. And then he, both hands, and I walked up the stairs by myself and then ran. When I got to the top, I did not want to be seen again. That was terrible. How are you we not together? No, I don't know him. How are you? Just trying to be helpful. But I was hurt, like my pride was hurt. And so then I went home and got online and Googled the weight of that stroller, because I was like, this thing has got to be like at least 100 pounds or something. Try and make myself feel better. Turns out it was all baby. That stroller is 8 pounds. I'm surprised it was holding the kid up. I was watching the news because at first I saw it on the news and then it spilled over to social, so I was watching a lot of it. I saw where Tyreek Hill got stopped by the police, right? And I don't think he got arrested. I mean, he got detained for a bit, but he still made it to the game and did quite well. But the whole thing was pretty wild, and I made sure to watch like everything that got released, like the full body cam footage and everything, because I saw just so many people arguing about it online, right? And in case you didn't see it, basically Tyreek Hill, who's a football player, right? He is he's driving and gets pulled over, right? And anytime I'm on Twitter and I see like a video of a black dude getting pulled over, I'm like, well, it was a good day. I don't know what I'm about to see. And so, you know, you see the body cam footage of the cop walking up after they pulled him over to Tyreek's window. And Tyreek is sitting there in the car and everything, and then the cop knocks on the window, and then Tyreek lowers his window, looks at the cop and goes, "Don't knock on my window like that," and then rolls the window back up. And as an African American audience member, I was like, uh-oh. And you can tell, even the cop, you can't see his face because it's his body cam, but you can tell he's like, what? What just happened? So then he knocks on the window again, and he's like, yo, keep the window down. And he's like, don't knock on my window like that, right? Don't knock on my window like that. And they just go back and forth. He's like, keep the window down, don't knock on my window like that. Keep the window down, don't knock on my window like that. Now, to be fair, by now the window is just down. Like he's just... It's kind of like one of those things where you arguing with somebody, but they are doing the thing you asked them to do, but you still mad, so then you're like, and keep doing it. You just don't know what to say next, you're like, and stay doing it. And so then, you know, he hands him his license and registration, and then he rolls the window back up. And like, look. Look. Rolling the window up on anybody, I've never seen a respectful rolling of the window up, right? Like when I've been out and I've been in situations and I roll the window up, it's very clear what I mean, right? I remember one time I was with my friend Mike in Chicago, and he was giving me a ride home from a show, and there was this one dude that was in the street, middle of the street, and you know, we had a pretty clear, we were in Chicago, and so we're going down like that Argyle area and everything, and we have a pretty clear street because it's so late at night, right? And it's it's like maybe 2:30 in the morning because I had a late show and I stayed to talk with people and stuff like that. And Mike is giving me this ride back, and we've got the windows down and everything. But then we're at a red light, and we see a red light away this guy who's been in the street, and we could tell from the distance is just running in the street, no shirt on, everything. And then Mike just goes, "Let me roll up my window because this nigga is making me nervous." Rolling up the window is not both like a power move, sometimes it's also a move of like, I really don't want to look at you right now. And so the cop knocks on the window again, he's like, hey, keep the window down. And then Tyreek is like, yo, just give me my ticket so I can go, right? And as an African American audience member, I was like, oh. You know? And so then cop tells him one more time, he's like, yo, keep the window down before I take you out of the car. Matter of fact, get out of the car, right? So he just immediately decides like, no, open this door. Open the door before I break the window. Open the door, right? And so then Tyreek is like, okay, damn, all right. So he unlocks the door, and then they pull the door open, and they start pulling Tyreek out. He's like, okay, I'm getting down, damn, right? And now they're pushing him down and everything. And he's like, hey, careful. I just had surgery on my knee. And they're telling him. And then the guy, the same cop as before, is like, oh, that's convenient. You didn't have surgery on your knee in the car when you couldn't keep the window up. And I was like, that's not how knees work. And so they got Tyreek down flat on the ground. I can't remember if they handcuffed him or they zip tied him or they just had him with his hands right here. And you gotta keep in mind that this is all for like some speeding. Like if you're speeding and they catch you, they just arrest you because you're speeding that much, Like if you're going the speed of the temperature in Arizona, you're just... you're just going to jail. But all of this happens, speeding a little bit, right? And then, he's on the ground, hands down, everything. He's trying to call someone to let them know that he's gonna be late, which is courteous. And then, I don't know when in the sequence this happened, because then this is from a different angle, but I watched something that was fully put together, right? So I don't know if this one was on police body cam, but this was just like a part of the footage. And then, Tyreek said something along the lines of like, yeah, another black man trying to drive in America, right? And then the same cop as before says like, oh, I'm Cuban, don't play that shit with me, right? Which isn't quite, like I see where he was trying to get, but no, the 2 points kind of miss each other, right? And then, there was another player who had stopped his car and got out just to see what was happening, because he saw Tyreek's car, Tyreek on the ground and everything. And so then he's trying to call somebody, and Tyreek is telling him like, yo, call whoever. I don't know if it's like the GM or I don't know who he wants him to call, but he keeps saying the same name. So then that guy goes, okay. But then the cop sees that guy and goes, yo, you can't stop there. Get back in your car. You can't stop there. Get back in your car right now. He's like, okay, I'm getting back in my car. I was just trying to see what's happening. Don't worry about what's happening. Get back in your car right now. Drive off, right? And he's like, okay, and even as he's moving towards his car, the cop was like, you know what, you too, and then takes him. And it did get to the point where I was like, are they gonna arrest the city? Because I'm not gonna lie, when you drive by, you get curious. You're like, maybe you're in your car and you drive by a little slow. You're like, is that Tyreek Hill? And the cop's like, you can get some too. Like, But it just got me to thinking like, wow, all of this and our expectation, the fact that we expected it to be worse than it was, Because I want to be clear about something. Tyreek Hill was, if you watch the tape, he was being an asshole because he thought he could get away with it, right? He thought he had enough money. He thought he had enough like access or proximity to maybe how his white friends move, that he thought he could be an asshole and get away with it. And I want to be clear, the cops in that situation were also being assholes because they thought they could get away with it. But only one of those two parties was at work. Do you know what I mean? Everybody has a bad day. Everybody can't be perfect, and some people are assholes through and through, right? But being an asshole isn't illegal. One of those parties has a gun, has the ability to kill, has the power to move people where they want them to go, And it's a terrifying thing, because my thing is like, take race out of it for a second, right? The way that the police are allowed to move is what creates the expectation. It just happens to get to a certain place with black people more often than not. But it's the way that we're all police and the thing that we all allow, as long as it's happening to somebody else, that keeps the system intact. And so I've watched the police do all manner of things in different videos to different people, right? But there's a certain place we let it get to in our minds where we just accept that, like, oh man, you disrespected a cop, you about to get your ass beat. Why is that? Do you know what I mean? Why is that? Because I'm not trying to make it as if race isn't an actual issue in it. It's like inextricably linked to it. But at the same time, trust me when I say anybody can get it. I've watched so many videos of people, kids, and it's because of the way that we let police move, and also what we ask police to do, right? There should just be a scanner. If you're speeding, we'll catch you. And I don't have to talk to the dude with the gun. That would be nice. That would be so much better to just, I was speeding, you got me, that's my bad, I was speeding, and now I don't get tapped on the window by a dude that I know is armed that's not having a great day. Because I've even watched, like you wouldn't believe, I've watched my white friends move around the police in a way that I could never imagine, right? But I've also watched them. There's a weird leveling off that happens when it comes to policing, where sometimes white people get loud or get violent with the police, and the police go, I'm white too, so like, let's nix that now. You gotta get your ass beat today. And I've also seen black police tuning up black kids, right? But it's also the expectation that we have of police and the way that we allow them to move that like leads to situations like this. You know what I mean? It's terrifying to be pulled over by the police, just in my view, as a black person. Not even because I'm like, man, this cop's definitely gonna be racist. It's more just what can happen and what they can get away with that's terrifying. And I know that we're not all feeling the same way, but in my opinion, we should all be terrified. Because everything's well and good until it happens to you. And trust me when I tell you it can happen to you. In college, I had a friend who was getting a little drunk, right? He was pretty drunk. And, he got loud with a cop. And I was trying to, dissuade him. But I was doing it from a distance, like a coach. You know what I mean? Like I was... I was like, hey, I know you white, but you're gonna get tased. I'm telling you. The way you moving right now is taser behavior, okay? That white skin can only protect you for so long. You about to get that ass beat, I'm telling you. I've seen too many videos of people doing what you do, and they never end well. And they didn't tase them, but let's just say I did eventually have to yell out, I'll see you back at the door. I don't want these problems. Cool. How y'all doing? Everybody good? Oh, sweet. This has been a terrifying night so far for me.
How are you gonna follow that up?
Oh, how am I gonna follow her? Oh, no, just kidding? What? No, you wanted to talk, so I'm just giving you the floor. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
You sure?
You're the comedian. Sorry.
No, you just made it weird for everyone. Do you do this all the time? Is this your job? Did I fuck up? I'm sorry. You usually just go to places and make it weird. Do you knock on windows during people's sex? Just, hey, how you gonna follow her ex? What the fuck? Like I said, nothing but weird stuff has happened to me tonight. It's been completely jarring. Because a lot of people are celebrating Halloween tonight, which in New York is a horrible idea. This city is not made for Halloween because it is too difficult to distinguish the people celebrating and the real crackheads. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like I be letting people get close. You asking questions, is devastating. I saw a dude with, I don't know what's outfits and what's not. Like I saw a dude with pants but just one leg. Like he had a pant, like an actual. But you see what I mean, right? Like one leg naked, and the other leg business casual, right? Like one side I'm going somewhere, one side booty shorts. It's insane. Half of him is dressed for the apocalypse, and the rest is like present day. And he was just acting like it was nothing. I was like, maybe it's a choice. I have no idea. I saw one dude who was just in pajamas, but he didn't have any socks or shoes on, and he was by himself sucking his thumb. I was like, I think that this one is crazy. I think, like, am I crazy? That one feels different. He not hanging out with anybody, you know what I mean? If him and his boys were all sucking thumbs together, I'd be like, all right, they a group of oddballs. But my man just by himself going, when the train coming? Ugh. No. There was a guy that sat next to me when I was on the train. So he has like this like blood thing, you know, across the forehead, and it's trickling down and stuff. And he starts the conversation just normal, and he was asking me to make sure he was on the way to 34th Street, right? And it's like, it's Halloween, so it's supposed to be okay for someone who's covered in blood to just ask you for directions. It's like, I would be weird if I was like, oh, because then that's me not understanding it's a holiday, right? And then, and so I tell him, like, yeah, we're on the way. We're headed into the city, so you're going to hit 34th Street if you just stay on a few more stops. And by the way, I think that this is so cool. Like, I've never seen anybody get it that detailed. And he was like, oh, no, I'm going as Jim Halper. This is, I got in a fight with a nigga on the way to the train. I was like, all right, if you say so. That's my thing. I think my only way of telling, which maybe this isn't fair, but my only way of telling who's crazy and who's in costume is by the number of costumes. So somebody in one costume, that's a regular person. You know what I mean? If somebody's in two costumes at the same time, that's a kid. That's a kid who couldn't make up his mind. It's like, I want to be Batman and Elsa. It's like, all right, cool, yeah. That's okay. All right, we'll get you half Batman, like Batman up top, Elsa bottom, I guess. I don't know. But if they're wearing 7, that is mental illness. That's happening the rest of the year, too. You know what I mean? If they look like Spider-Man and they just got fairy wings on the back of their head and they got Thanos wrists, it's like, all right, you're doing a lot. Just watch them. Oh, this is also the worst night in New York to get robbed. Because it's the one night where you could give the most accurate description that make you sound crazy. You know what I mean? You know, if I got robbed tonight, I was like, okay, so Minnie Mouse and Captain America went that way, all right? If you turn the corner, you can still catch them. I had a conversation with my uncle. My uncle got in an argument with his girlfriend. My uncle still has girlfriends because he didn't have his life together. So I'm just saying, my man needs to settle down or settle up. You know, like it's odd. But they got an argument because they were watching a movie, and in the movie, the couple that the movie is about, towards the end of the movie, they've been married for 60 years, and then she dies. And then within a week, he dies. But he didn't have any pre-existing conditions, so he just died of old age and clearly of grief, right? Right? And then she did the same thing. She turns to my uncle, and she's like, oh, that's so sweet. Do you think that'll happen with us? And then my uncle was like, hell no. Which I'm like, first of all, just say yes, bro. Like, just. My uncle be picking the weirdest times, to be honest. Like, that's so odd. Just say yes. That's what people are looking for. Reassurance. Say yes is a clear answer. Is also, just say yes. But then they got in a fight because then she was like, why don't you think you would die if I died? And then he was like, look, if you died, I'd be sad. But if a week passed, I'm not gonna kill myself just to stay in the timeline. And then she's like, well, why don't you love me enough to just die after I die? She turned into a real fight. And he was like, look, first of all, this conversation doesn't make any sense because I'm clearly gonna die before you, okay? I'm overweight, I got high blood pressure. So let me ask you this, are you willing to kill yourself in 8 years? That's a real thing that I'm noticed in my friends' relationships. I've even had it a couple times where there's a hypothetical at play that's never going to happen, but it'll usually, I think in almost every case that I can think of, is usually the girlfriend, where they're like, would you still love me if I was a spy? If I was a spy and I was on the run, you could only see me twice a year, would you still love me, or would you move on? And you're supposed to be yeah, I'd still love you, and we would make it work logistically, or whatever. And it's I get it. I get, there's scenarios that pop in your head and you want reassurance from the person. Hey, would you still love me if this thing happened? But some of them are too crazy. Would you love me if I was a ladybug? How is it going to make me, think about that. It makes me look bad if I say no. But then if I say yes, I look like I fucked ladybugs. Which is worse? Which one do you want to be in a relationship with less? I don't know. Dudes do plenty of weird, annoying, dumb stuff. There's just not as many dudes doing that hypothetical thing, I just don't know of a guy who's rolling over in the middle of the night babe, wake up. Wake up. Were you sleeping? Wake up. Do you have work tomorrow? Wake up. Wake up, babe. Wake up. Would you still love me if I cheated? See what I mean? See how you're what am I supposed to say to this? Did y'all see the first dates list that's been going viral? It's a list of first dates that people need to stop taking women on. Some of you have seen it. Okay, in case you haven't seen it, basically, there was this whole thing that I'm pretty sure was fake, that this woman going to the Cheesecake Factory, and then she won't get out the car because it's a Cheesecake Factory. And so, this was, I'm not gonna lie, whether the video is fake or real, the video did make me laugh in the beginning because the guy is driving her to the date. The date turns out to be Cheesecake Factory. Then he gets out to open the door for her, which I think went out in the 1890s, right? So then... Clearly a better man than most, right? Gets out of the car, walks around, and then she locked the door. It's his car, locked the door, and then rolled down the window, was I'm not going to Cheesecake Factory. And then he gets back in the car. And anyway, they decide, not to go on the date, whatever, right? But it sparked this whole thing. It sparked this whole debate on if Cheesecake Factory was nice or whatever. So then the list came out of places to stop, places women are done going on first dates at. And the list has 28 different things on it, and it is most places. So ladies, just admit you don't like us. That's... Because half the list is very reasonable. Half the list, I was who is doing this, right? There are things on the list that are crazy. Because remember, the whole list, first date, right? So there's things on the list that should just never... Church was one. I was you just springing church on people? You're not even letting them get right before you pull up? Imagine you go on a first date, they want to surprise you, you get out and it's church. It's a surprise. Just sprung church on somebody. And you gotta be careful about people who spring church on you, because usually it's a cult. Like if y'all going to church on like a Thursday at 6, that's not regular church hours. That's not what we do at established churches. You know? Some of the list was, I'm not gonna lie, I thought a lot of the list was very reasonable, you know? Like church was one. Another one that blew my mind, the gym. You only do that if you try and make her your enemy. Like you just, you know, let's go to a place that we could both use. It's insane. Towards the top of the list is Chili's and Chipotle, right? And I will say this, just from my experience, if you take a woman on a first date to Chili's or Chipotle, ladies, if he's taking you on a first date, Chili's or Chipotle, he is trying to give you the D, okay? And by D, I do mean diarrhea. Like that is absolutely chaotic. Chipotle, first date, you just want her with full of burrito. That's insane. Who raised you? Like that's... No. Buffet was one, and buffet is super reasonable. That is reasonable. You're taking a first date on a buffet. What are you trying to test her for? What's the plan here? It's like, you can't be with me unless you clear 3 plates, okay? This is an audition, all right? We eat in this family. This is crazy. And to be fair, a lot of the stuff, whether it's reasonable or not, that was on the first date list, I have friends who were taken on all of those first dates. You know what I mean? So they are happening. You know, I had a friend, dude took her on a first date to a buffet, and then they get there and she's like, oh, okay, didn't know, but let's make the most of it. Brings the plate up, starts, you know, making her plate very responsible portions. She gets back. He comes back 3 minutes later. He got a whole pyramid of food. Like it is crazy as he sits down and then he just starts pounding egg rolls. Like just this man, like it's a contest, just nonstop. Egg roll, egg roll. Where you from? Egg roll, egg roll, egg roll, egg roll. What are your ambitions? Egg roll, egg roll, egg roll, egg roll. And then finally he choke, right? And this is the thing that I'm being serious for a second, outside the dating stuff, just as us, fellas, as men, we have got to start chewing, all right? Most of the choking in this country is us. Almost all of it is us. It's just men being happy and being like, oh, it's real good. Like that every day that's happening to us. That's nobody's fault but us. It's our mouth, all right? So just please, bro, chew. Please chew. I'm begging you. Too many men are dying unnecessarily of delicious food and not paying attention. And so then he start choking. She get up from the table, go around to his side, gives him the Heimlich. He spits the food out, sits down, and it's like, oh, I can't believe that happened. Oh my God, thank you so much. You saved my life. I want to hear more about your job. I'm gonna get another plate. I'll be right back. Did you learn nothing? One of my favorites, though, that I do agree with, that's on the list, and I know some people are gonna come for me, but number 10 on the list is Wingstop. Now, if you're not from this country, or you don't know what a Wingstop is, just know they don't have seating, okay? Like, almost none of it. If you taking a woman to Wingstop, it's because she's a fugitive. It's like, baby, we got to get in and get out. I don't want you seen, you know what I mean? We on the run together. This was your scenario that you asked me if I would still love you, so. That's crazy. Because Buffalo Wild Wings is also on the list. But at least at Buffalo Wild Wings, the one caveat I have for it is if y'all are both into sports, you can watch the game and eat something in a booth. You can have a good time together. Wingstop just got 2 trash cans and some high top tables. Because Wingstop don't want you to eat at Wingstop. Wingstop is like you order and you get the fuck out. I don't even want to look at you right now. Also, wings on a first date is chaos. That's a setup right there. You just want to make sure she's a hunter. What are you doing? No. I've had to delete some apps from my phone. My phone finally filled up. That's when you start making decisions. When you see that thing cannot be backed up on the cloud, you start being like, oof, do I need to know the weather? Like, and I had to delete the Citizen app. Yeah, no. If y'all don't have the Citizen app, I'm begging you, don't download it. All right. The Citizen app is insane. If you don't know what it is, it's an app that tells you what crimes are happening around you and in the city at large, which nobody needs to know. All right. The crime in New York is either happening to you or none of your business. Why would I get that app? Just to be the worst Batman ever? To try to stop crime on foot? Is that my plan? There's a robbery happening 6 blocks away. I get there out of breath. Don't do it. Oh. No. The only reason I even had the Citizen app is because I loved the headlines. Because people can self-report, you know, they can tell you what's happening near you. And sometimes the police are not even aware yet. Sometimes it really is people seeing the thing, uploading it to Citizen, then the police come and all gets official and stuff. My favorite one that I've ever seen, and I have lots. Like, honestly, if you come to see me, I will be talking about this every set. I have endless. But one of my favorites was man exposing himself at Popeyes. And I loved it because they said exposing. They use a present tense, which means the dick is still out. Like the dick is currently at large. Yeah, I mean, they're like, he doing it right now. Please hurry. He's swinging everywhere. He getting on the chicken sandwiches. Please send somebody. No. Did I follow that okay? Did I do a good job? Y'all been great. I'm Josh Johnson. Have a good one.
I guess we're all doing better than Diddy. Oh, what a week. All right, if you don't know, I'll try to bring you up to speed very quickly. Basically, Diddy has been the devil for decades. And it's really only this year that everything's sort of coming to roost, right? It sort of started with a lawsuit brought by his ex-girlfriend, Cassie. And, in the lawsuit is detailing horrific things you will not, like, you will feel sick if you read the lawsuit. And Diddy said it was all a lie. Just nothing but disgusting lies about his character, and he settled the lawsuit the next day. I don't know about you, but I've never been lied on so hard that I was like, you better stop lying about me. I will pay you as much as you want for you to stop telling me all the stuff I supposedly did. I want to make sure that this is, how much does the check need to be? It won't be in escrow. It'll be in a check form in the morning. But I will pay you as much as it takes for you to stop lying before people start looking at what you said because everybody else is saying it. No, it's crazy. And even more recently, more allegations and more investigations have been going into Diddy being an alleged, legally you have to say it, being an alleged sex trafficker and everything, to the point where, this week, the FBI raided all of his houses all his houses at once, just to make sure, every single one at the same time, make sure he wasn't house hopping or anything, just going everywhere. They grabbed all the homes and the homies and they pulled everybody outside, and it was truly astounding to watch, because if you've ever watched, like I watch a lot of news, so I remember like the Roger Stone raid. Anytime the FBI or Homeland Security does a raid, it's a weird hierarchy that you notice, because they'll show up to do the raid, right? So FBI or Homeland Security, they'll be fitted up, right? Top to bottom, they got the AR-15, they got the vest on, full body armor, they got the boots, they got the helmet, and then sometimes they actually have backup. Backup is SWAT. So then SWAT is also there dressed like SWAT, and we know what SWAT is dressed like. And then it will just be the regular police. And it kind of made me feel bad for the local police, because like, imagine you show up to work and all your coworkers look like Call of Duty that day. And you just have to show up with your chest. That's unfair to them. Like, if I was a cop, I'd be like, y'all ain't got any extra ARs in the trunk or anything. I can't hold something. Y'all just showed up all prepared. Y'all said he dangerous. You know what? I'm gonna wait next to the car. That's what I'm gonna do. Y'all, this is bull. I'm not doing. And truly, watch any FBI raid. All the local police are next to the cars in the street. They're like, no, they gonna get them. They gonna get them. Oh, you better watch out, because they coming, all right? But yeah, they raided all that dude's houses at one time, pulled people out, were like, interrogated people, were trying to look for stuff in the houses. And meanwhile, a lot of people have been waiting on Diddy's downfall for a long time, so they track his movements. And I want to take a quick second, because a lot of people, as this is mainly like a black thing, knowing about Diddy. Like, it feels like the world didn't know, but black people, we knew. We were like, nah. Something happening with him that seems off. I don't know if I loved that either. That's just been us for like 2 decades with Diddy just being like, did y'all see? Yeah, and so a lot of other people are catching up. So then there are things, when anything like this comes out, there are things where people ask, like, why is everybody talking about it now, coming forward now, stuff like that. I want to be clear. Diddy is not like a Harvey Weinstein in that way, right? Because with Harvey Weinstein, everyone started coming forward, and then people were like, why didn't y'all say something sooner? Look at him. We would have believed you. Like, we don't do a good enough job of believing women, but with Harvey, I'd be like, whatever y'all say he did, he did. I can just see it from his build that he did whatever. But Diddy's a very different thing. Diddy's scary. A lot of people are scared of Diddy. And you want to know one of the reasons why people are scared of Diddy? Because of where he comes from. There's gangsters, then there's gangsters. Okay? Diddy's dad has ties to Frank Lucas. If you don't know Frank Lucas is who Denzel played in American Gangster. That's who Diddy's dad hung out with. That's who Diddy's dad did business with. So when you ever rewatch American Gangster and you see that scene when Frank Lucas, Denzel, stands up, and in the middle, broad daylight, middle of the sidewalk, a dude disrespects him, and he pulls out a gun and he shoots him in the head and kills him in front of everybody because he knows nobody will say anything. That's who Diddy's dad ran with, right? That's who taught him his, like, ABCs and stuff. You know what I mean? When you see that scene, that's a bone-chilling scene because it happened. That happened. He did that. He killed someone broad daylight because he knew no one around would say anything, right? So when you see that scene and you see Denzel do that, just know that one of the extras in the background, at least one of those kids, is Diddy. That's terrific, you know? And that's why people have been so scared of him, because we know that he just moves differently. You know what I mean? And a lot of people have been waiting on his downfall for a long time. So when the FBI was raiding, people were like, where is Diddy? And you know how these kids are now? They're very smart. They can track anything. They track Diddy's plane. And so while the FBI is raiding all of his homes at one time, Diddy's plane is leaving America. And I don't mean getting fueled up. I mean, the plane is over just blue. That's the ocean. The plane is gone, right? And the plane is headed for Antigua. Now, Antigua is still extradite. So a lot of people are like, why would he be going over to Antigua? Then other people said, hey, maybe he's landing in Antigua because everybody knows that's his plane. He's going to land in Antigua. He's going to get on a friend's smaller plane, and he's going to go to a country that doesn't extradite, like Bali, right? So then that plane lands in Antigua, it comes right back. When it lands, turns out Diddy was never on the plane. He was in Miami the whole time. This man is a terrible rapper and an incredible villain. I've been thrown for a loop consistently with him. Like, this man should be in a James Bond movie. You know, a lot of people are just waking up to how Diddy is, you know. We knew. You know how you know that we knew? Diddy's the only black billionaire we didn't root for. It's a very big deal when you get a black billionaire. We're always like, oh yeah, we did it. You know, I remember when that guy, you know, that guy that gave the commencement speech at Morehouse, and at the end of the speech he said he was going to pay for all the kids' student loans. That moment went viral. It was crazy. Kids were crying and everything, jumping up, screaming. I looked it up. I found the guy. His name was Robert Smith. Turns out he's a billionaire. He didn't give me any money, but I was at home like, we got Diddy became a billionaire. We were like, good for you. I don't know about y'all, but I absolutely love when home drama spills out into the world. You know what I mean? I don't watch a lot of reality television, so I love when a real life couple just can't take it anymore. You know what I mean? Like they have to have it out, and they have to have it out now. And now is here. And here is where I am. So I get a free show. You know? I think it happens a lot in New York City because we don't have space. Like y'all have real homes here. Y'all can be like, we will discuss this later. In New York, we don't have that. We're like, I want to argue in private at home, but home don't have no elbow room. I want to argue where I can move a little bit because I'm passionate with my movements. Now, if I'm arguing at home, one time I was arguing at home, and I went like this to be like, oh, wait, you know, just like to hold it up, and then I hit my elbow, and there's no way to look right when you just stand there like. You know, so sometimes couples just have to have it out in that moment, you know? And I was walking. I try to do this at least once a week. I was on a walk with no AirPods in, right? Just really like be around in the world, you know? And I think it's an important thing to do because it opens you up to what's happening around you. And I would have missed this had I had my AirPods in. I was walking, and as I'm walking, I see this dude bust out of the door of his house, right? He's running down the stoop of his brownstone, no shirt on, anything, looking terrified, like, look. And so I turn and I see what I can only imagine is his girlfriend or wife running behind him. And I was like, all right, this seems awesome. Let's see how it goes. And she has something in her hand, but it doesn't look like a gun, so I'm like, I'm willing to stay and see this through. Because you know, if it's a gun, people get upset, they miss. Now she done shot me, I'm bleeding out. I'm not even part of your love. I'm laying there holding my wound, y'all done worked it out. Like, this could all be for nothing. It's just she's holding something, but I can't see what it is, right? And as he's running down the stoop, she runs down with him, and she gets to this specific step, and then she goes like this, right? She goes like this, and then a piece of what she was holding flies out and hits him in the back, and he goes, ah! And then she lets go of the other thing that she was holding. It slides down the stairs, and when it slides down, it's close enough for me to see. And when I look, it was the sleeve of a Hot Pocket. This woman done burned the hell out of this man with a Hot Pocket. In the known universe, there are about 4 states of matter, right? There's gas, there's liquid, and there's solid. There's also plasma. Now, plasma can reach a temperature of about 45,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and just under that. Close second is Hot Pocket juice. Hot Pocket juice must be studied. This will burn your soul. Hot Pocket juice is far too hot. It is absolute insanity, okay? Because we've all been there. We've all been there where you were hungry, you heat up the Hot Pocket, that's gonna be quick, and then you went ahead and you put it higher than the instructions say, because you know when you follow the instructions, the middle cold. So then you put it at least 2 minutes higher than the instructions say, because you got a different type of microwave. Your microwave doesn't work like the box says. And so you put an extra 2 minutes, but now we're into heated territory that no one, even the people at the company, are aware of, right? And then you pull the Hot Pocket out, you hold it by the sleeve, and you wouldn't even be in this situation if you could just be a gentleman and wait, right? But you're hungry, you're greedy, you can't help yourself, and so you blow, you do blow. You give it a good try, too. You blowing the bread. You're not doing anything for that juice inside. That juice is still bubbling like lava, waiting to bust out. And so then you take your first bite, and because you're hungry, because you're being greedy, you bite too hard, the juice pops out, it hits your lip, and you go, ah! Now you coughing because steam coming out of your mouth because you got the corner bread in your mouth with all the juice burning everything. Burning teeth. Just burning. Inexplicably, just burning and burning and burning. It's terrible. This woman was running after this man. We don't know what he did. I didn't stay for an interview. This woman was running down the stairs after this man and had the Hot Pocket sleeve in her hand and reared back like an ancient weapon. Reared back. And flung the Hot Pocket out. Flung it like she had done it before. Like, she must be burning him weekly to have this sort of aim. If this was a game show, I could never sling it and hit what I wanted to hit. And she hit, not only did she hit him in the middle of the back. She hit him in the spine. So it's in just enough of a position that he can't really reach it. Like it's not here, it's not here. Like this man is fighting for his life right now. She gave him 32nd degree burns. And my man's like, ah! And I want to help, but I'm like, I'm not going to burn my fingers. Like, and then I had never stopped walking the entire time, but I did take off into a brisk jog. Because as he was holding the railing of his stoop, I saw her lift another hot pocket. I was like, let me leave before I witness a murder.
And that